If you've ever been cheated on, you may have experienced what I'm calling emotional flashbacks or intrusive thoughts. It's that feeling where you're suddenly back to the moment that you discovered it. Your chest tightens, your stomach drops, your thoughts scramble. It's seeing a small trigger or hearing a certain word or driving by a certain location. And it's like your brain isn't in the current room anymore. You've been pulled way back into the past. You start wondering to yourself, like, I thought that these types of Vietnam War style flashbacks only happened to people that went through severe physical trauma. Like, why is this happening to me? Like, am I just being dramatic? Am I being oversensitive? Am I too controlling, too obsessive, too jealous? These flashbacks are common after betrayal trauma. And that trauma gets reactivated in your body, in your nervous system, in a moment of perceived danger. And the word perceived is crucial because it's not a real danger per se. It could be, but it perceives a danger. And the nervous system is weird because it doesn't always track time the same way that we consciously do. It could see something that reminds it of the affair, that reminds it of the betrayal, and it feels like a live, still in the moment, happening right now type of thing. Betrayal wounds create these deep memories that get triggered by tone, expression, phrase, or the environment. And these aren't usually about what's happening right now. They're like the past bursting back into the present because it hasn't been integrated or processed yet. And so it's your body, it's your nervous system trying to protect you by making sure that you never get blindsided again. But it's overactive. It's a normal survival mechanism, but it's on overdrive. Deeper processing and deeper healing take a separate process. But when you're in the moment, like, it hijacks your day. You might be at work, you might be talking with friends, and it just sucks you out of the moment. And it's both miserable to go through yourself, but it also keeps you from so many other positive things you could be enjoying. Really quickly, just remind yourself the truth out loud, or like very clearly verbally say it in your head if it's not appropriate to say it out loud. But just explain to yourself what is happening. This is a flashback. It's not happening right now. I recommend breathing slowly as well. If you place your hand on your chest or stomach, or sometimes both, and you breathe and you feel the chest rising and falling, you feel the diaphragm expanding out and then back in, that is a signal of safety to your nervous system. Remind yourself of the broader context as well. So instead of just saying, this is a flashback, it's not happening now, remind yourself of where you physically are. Like, are you at your favorite restaurant? Are you with some friends? Where are you? Who are you with? What time it is? And then as you're naming those things, just really ground yourself through your senses into that present moment as well. Notice things that you currently see, notice things that you currently hear, notice things you can currently feel. So even just where your body is seated or where you're standing, how your feet feel on the ground, those types of things. Just get extremely present. Why? Because the memory is taking you back to the past. So if you need to snap out of it, so to speak, anything that brings you back to the present is what you want to do. I'm sure that it's very easy in those moments to go jumping around all these different memories in the past. There is a time for exploring those wounds, but right now, just bring yourself back to the present. To explain a bit more about what's going on, flashbacks come from the amygdala, which is part of your brain, and it activates faster than rational thought. We think very quickly, consciously, but the amygdala thinks faster. It's not the type of memory that requires recall, like when you're trying to remember a historical date for an exam. It's just there. There's a lot of science behind it, but the explanation that makes a lot of sense to me, even spiritually, it's like there's some type of energy that's still being held onto. You still have an emotional wound. And so at the proper time, these flashbacks can be seen as invitations to deeper healing, not signs of failure. And so not judging yourself is incredibly important. Because imagine having that type of reaction in the moment and then layering on top of that, beating yourself up for it. That's not helpful. It's not productive. Just recognize it is a biological quirk. It's annoying, but you'll deal with it later. There's nothing to beat yourself up over. As far as actually addressing it, my main piece of advice is to do this process in the moment and separate in your mind very clearly. Okay, when it's happening, my main goal is just get back to the present. But then later, that is when you've gain some distance, you're in a much more stable mental spot. You're not actively triggered. That is when you can go back and start asking questions to yourself about it. You can start journaling around it. You can meditate on it. You can name and kind of map out exactly what happened. Like, okay, I saw this and it reminded me of this thing in the past and it made me feel this way. And just kind of sit with that one thread, if that makes sense. I'll make more videos on this topic in the future, but that's the basic idea of how to handle these triggers in real time.